Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on the old show today, Tesla motor vehicles. Well, they've been itching to get into China, but have run into somewhat of a stumbling block. Is actually registered in China is the name Tesla. Couldn't sell the vehicles underneath their own name. This came out back in 2013. Well, apparently that hurdle has gotten over, and this will be the brand new name, and apparently it has to have the hyphens in it as well. TE-SI-LA. Now, I don't know if you could just pronounce this all Tesla, kinda. I don't know exactly how this is going to be. But again, this is supposedly the final roadblock that hurt them actually from trying to sell vehicles in China. So hopefully they'll be able to get in there and sell with the best of them. But be interesting to see how well that car sells over in China. Next up on the list, a brand new Cadillac Escalade gets official pricing. I actually got to see this vehicle in the flesh just a handful of days ago. Now this particular vehicle's got a lot of newness to it. It's on all new platform as are the other two vehicles, the new Silverado platform. Also got to see the new Tahoe of actually a couple of days ago. But the pricing out on this particular vehicle, and it has gone up a fair bit, but you do get a little bit more for your money, including brand new LED headlight taillight package, is pretty cool. Brand new bespoke 20-inch rims, and for the first time on anything but a high-performance car from General Motors, magnetic ride control is on this particular vehicle. So all that kind of stuff and a lot of newness when it comes to this vehicle, all new sheet metal, all new interior and whatnot. How much do you have to pay? Well, starting prices come in at $72,690 US dollars, and that is starting out price. So if you got a hankering for the brand new Cadillac Escalade, better head on down to your Cadillac dealership right now. Next up on the list, Audi showed off this brand new A3 Plus. Now this vehicle is supposed to make its official debut sometime this year. That's all they said. At some auto show this year, assumingly. But they've already released somewhat of the information, or at least a little bit of teaser stuff when it comes to some photographs. The vehicle will be coming in a handful of trims, especially this, the S3 Plus, and also the S3 Plus wagon, or state vehicle, if you will. This particular vehicle gets a supposed all-new, this is still just rumor-wise, 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that's going to be putting out 375 brake horsepower and 368 pounds-feet of torque. Now, to be shifted through a 6-speed automatic gearbox or a 6-speed manual, or at least we're hoping a 6-speed manual. And obviously the vehicle will come with a Quattro all-wheel drive variant. No pricing, no nothing like that, but hopefully this vehicle will make an official debut very, very soon, maybe in Geneva or something. We'll know a little bit more about this car. Very good-looking automobile from the folks over at Audi. Next up on the list, well, Formula One debuts are starting to trickle in. This is the brand new McLaren MP4-29. This will be driven in anger in Melbourne, Australia, coming up in March, by drivers Jenson Button and Kevin Magnussen. Now this particular vehicle's got all new bodywork, all new specifications coming to this particular vehicle. Not to mention Ferrari let loose of their brand new. This is the F14-T, which will be driven by Fernando Alonso and Kimi Raikkonen. Obviously, one of the biggest things you notice about these two cars is that low nose, as that's become a new situation. Also, a lot narrower track as far as the wings on the front and the rear. But I look at these two noses and it looks an awful lot like an anteater. Kind of weird looking, if you will. Not to mention they look a little bit rampish if you were ever to hit a car side by side. I think it would, or T-bone an automobile, I think it would just flip the one car in the air because of a ramp type situation that the nose is putting down. Now, let's talk about some of the tech regulations while you stare at this anteater. Right off the bat, the 2.4-liter normally aspirated V8 is gone. We've known that for quite some time and will be replaced by a 1.6-liter turbocharged V6. Not to mention all the exhaust routing that they used to do, that slick stuff to try to help active exhaust systems, to try to help downforce and whatnot. That was pretty black art, really cool stuff. Apparently is all going to be gone, as a center pipe will be coming out past the rear wing. Not to mention all the little winglets down the backbone of the body are all supposedly going to be gone as well. So they're really going to have to do some work about trying to get the downforce back in this automobile. Now, the 1.6 liter turbocharged V6 will be linked up to a brand new 8-speed semi-automatic gearbox, and apparently the FIA has now put a freeze on this particular deal, which means that you can only run one gear cluster for the entire year. Now, not meaning you can't just run one transmission, and meaning if you got to lock down your gear ratios before Melbourne and you get one out, if you have an absolute catastrophic problem and find out that you made a monster mistake in your gear ratios, you can make one change during the year, but it only have one set of gears. They used to have a different set of gears for every track. They used to have different gear sets back in the day, transmissions for qualifying and racing, if you will. Trying to cut costs in Formula One's very, very difficult. Apparently, this new gearbox, even at Monza, one of the high-speed tracks, is going to be the same gearbox they're going to be run at Monaco, one of the lowest of low-speed tracks. So you're really going to have to figure out some stuff. Now, apparently, between 10,000 RPMs and 15,000 RPMs, that 1.6-liter turbocharged V6 has a very flat power band, which they claim is going to make it a little bit easier to try to develop a gear set for this particular model. We're also hearing that they're having a massive amount of failures out of these new V6s. That they've had a lot of failures on the dynos, and they're apparently going to have a lot of failures when they come out as far as testing. Apparently, McLaren's actually talking about, Martin Wishnarsh said that this vehicle may, if you can just get it to the finish, you may score points. That over half the field may be gone. And we haven't had that kind of attrition since back in the 80s and 90s. So it's going to make Formula One very, very interesting this year. Cannot wait for the first race in Melbourne, Australia. And there'll be more debuts of more automobiles coming up very, very soon. You can check back at the Facebook page. We'll try to get some pictures up of the brand new releases as they come out. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this week's Motor Cars Enthusiast. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, the link's down in the show notes. Also, if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.